All right, to that other Fox News alert, at least 12 people are dead after a horrific mass shooting at a Hanukkah celebration in Sydney, Australia. Police in Australia now calling this shooting a terror attack.
Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is here with the latest. Good morning, Trey.
Guys, welcome to the video. This is Justin Paul, and an alleged terror attack has happened in Australia where 12 people are dead, mass shooting, and we do have some, clips from what happened. This happened at an event for Hanukkah. Just very, very egregious that like people are attacking people while they're trying to celebrate their, religious beliefs, and especially around this time of year. It's very egregious, very demonic, and this event they were saying was promoted to people of all ages. So you had everything from children up to adults at this event. So let's get a little bit of information here from this news clip.
Yeah, guys, good morning. There's been a terrorist attack in Sydney, Australia at Bondi Beach. Authorities say at least 12 people were killed and 29 others wounded when two gunmen opened fire on crowds of Jews at a Hanukkah event. Local police have released a statement saying, quote, two people are in police custody at Bondi Beach. However, the police operation is ongoing, and we continue to urge people to avoid the area. Please obey all police directions. Do not cross police lines. This event was scheduled to start at 5 p.m. local time in Sydney and was advertised as an event for all ages with music, games, and fun. One man describes what he heard and saw close to the scene of the shooting.
The whole shop just stood up, and we all just ran into the back exit, and everyone was pushing everyone. There was no semblance, and we just ran in through.
Authorities say one of the gunmen is dead. They are still investigating the specifics surrounding this terrorist attack that targeted Jews in Australia. But we are now getting reaction from Israeli ministers, including Gideon Sa'ar, Israel's foreign minister, who said in a statement, quote, I'm appalled by the murderous shooting attack at a Hanukkah event in Sydney, Australia. These are the results of the anti-Semitic rampage in the streets of Australia over the past 2 years, with the anti-Semitic and inciting calls of globalize the Intifada that were realized today. The Australian government, which received countless warning signs, must come to its senses. We're also getting reports in Israeli media right now that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to give a statement in the coming minutes about this horrific attack in Australia. But again, the latest information that we have from Australian authorities, 12 people are dead and at least 29 wounded following this terrorist attack that targeted Jews at a Hanukkah event.
12 dead, 29 injured. It's just ridiculous. Go ahead to another clip here.
We are following another deadly mass shooting, this one in Australia, where police say two gunmen opened fire on Sydney's famous Bondi Beach, killing at least 11 people. One of the suspects also is dead. Another is in custody. NBC's Raf Sanchez is following the latest developments for us. Raf, what more can you tell us?
Well, Willie, Australian authorities are calling this a terrorist attack targeting the Jewish community as it was celebrating the first night of Hanukkah. Here's what we know. As you said, two gunmen opened fire with long guns. There are at least 11 people killed, including one of the shooters. The second gunman is in custody in critical condition, and authorities are now investigating whether a third individual was potentially involved. Now, amid the horror, there was also heroism. There is a video that is a little difficult to watch, but I want to show it to you in just a second here. You see, if we have that video, you see the man in white.
Wow, the dude had a long, looks like a shotgun. And then, this guy here in white risked his life to tackle this guy, to, try to, bring him down, get the gun away from him, subdue him. Definitely a great act of heroism, especially in a situation where, everyone's going to be trying to run and get out the way, not knowing where, the bullets are coming from. And, man, let's just watch this here.
right there running up and tackling that suspected gunman. There is a struggle, and you can see he appears to wrestle what looks like a shotgun out of that man's hands. Now, the individual in white has not at this point been identified, but local leaders are hailing what they say were extraordinary acts of personal courage by people who just jumped in at the scene. It is very likely that that man saved some lives by appearing to disarm that gunman. We know that at least 29 people were taken to hospital. Among them are 2 police officers. Authorities are saying police were on the scene and engaging in a gun battle with these shooters within just minutes. Police are also...
Is that another shooter there? That's crazy. Like they just came there with evil intentions. Just pure evil intentions. Just broad daylight. It's just crazy.
also saying that they found a car linked to the killed gunman, which does appear to contain improvised explosive devices. Now, the bomb squad there in Sydney is probing that vehicle. They are looking for more clues. They are looking for more details about the motives. And, Willie, a massive police investigation is now underway, but we can already say at this point that this is one of the worst gun massacres in Australian history. Willie?
Just terrifying.
You know, and then people are at the beach, they're swimming, they're, partying, enjoying themselves, celebrating, the first day of Hanukkah there, and definitely not expecting to start ducking bullets and stuff like that. It's like, that just comes straight out of left field. Let's get a little perspective here.
Breaking in Australia, at least 12 people are dead, including a suspected shooter after a horrific terror attack at a Hanukkah party in Sydney, marking the worst attack on the Jewish community since October 7th.
Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is here with the very latest. Good morning, Trey. What else have we learned?
It really 2 months ago, anti-Semitic.
They are
Car.
Somebody that
Actually gone, and they're
Jewish holiday, the Festival of Lights. There were children there. There were babies there. There were families there. And there were rabbis there, one of which is now deceased. My brother was volunteering and doing security, and he joined in to help resuscitate victims and is actually still on the scene helping out authorities with the efforts to ensure people's safety on the ground.
As you said, Trey, these were just families that were celebrating on the beach.
Absolutely. Her words speak for themselves. This was a targeted terrorist attack against Jews in Sydney, Australia, period. And we have to remember, some of the people who survived this attack also survived the October 7th massacre back in 2023. Arsen Ostrovsky, who is an international human rights lawyer who we've interviewed on Fox, that photo of him was circulating around the internet from Sydney, his bloodied face. And a similar photo also circulated on the morning of October 7th as he was protecting his family here in Israel. And it just gives you a sense of what Jews around the world have been dealing with, this ongoing anti-Semitism and violence that is taking place. And again, that sentence that my friend in Sydney sent to me, I think really stands out and encapsulates what this was. She said they were dancing and eating donuts. There were hundreds of Jewish civilians celebrating the first night of Hanukkah, dancing and eating donuts, when 2 gunmen opened fire on this crowd, a terrorist attack murdering 12 people in Sydney.
2 gunmen were seen firing several times.
I'm just showing some clips here of, these are people that, obviously took out their camera phones and was recording, and man, this is a brazen attack. It's, coordinated, because you had several individuals who were doing the shooting and stuff like that. And again, people didn't know where the shots was going to be coming from, and they were able to really risk their lives just to kind of get a get it on documented on video. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for words, man, because You know, you never really see stuff like this as clear as you're seeing it. You see he's using his scope on the long range rifle there. As he's just shooting just at people. I think that's at the point where one of the shooters had got their gun taken away from him. And look at this. May have been explosives in the car that they had came in. But yeah, 29 injured, 12 deceased. So, you know, they definitely came to do some damage. Very, very evil. Like just very, very evil. You know, some evil people around the world. Stay vigilant, everyone. Gotta keep your awareness up, especially these days where, a lot of people are out here trying to do harm to the people who, for one, are not prepared for the harm that's going to come to them. And, for two, just, not even thinking that this type of thing will happen, especially at an event of this nature. We'll see because they said that one of the shooters were critically injured, and another is dead. But we'll see if there's a motive or anything that comes of this. Just kind of wanted to bring these perspectives of this tragedy, this mass shooting. They're labeling it as a terror attack that happened in Australia, and very, very egregious, very disgusting scenes that happened there at this beach, Bondi Beach. It's just crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.